Thank you and welcome back. So, as we're saying, Article 20 of the ICCPR, the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, states that any propaganda for war shall be prohibited by law, and any advocacy for national, racial, or religious hatred that constitutes incitement is prohibited. Now, the recent statements by the Tunisian president and the subsequent reported attacks on racial minority group, black people of African descent, including one woman who was reportedly 4 months pregnant, appear to be, within that context, incompatible with Article 20 of the ICCPR, as highlighted in my earlier remarks. There are other jurisdictions and statutes that may be triggered if the violence, hate speech, and targeted enforced deportation of a specific minority group escalate in Tunisia, and especially when this is associated with racialized hate speech by the Tunisian statement. And among those other jurisdictions or statutes is, for example, the Geneva Conventions on Refugees and other conventions that deal with workers and minority rights. And if that escalates into widespread systematic targeted attacks, then maybe the Rome Statute 1998, on which the International Criminal Court was based, may arguably be employed to protect the violent attacks on the specific groups which are done by the state in a systematic and targeted manner. But no doubt, the world will be watching very closely the actions and inactions taken against black Africans in Tunisia. But as an added point, the African Union in this case issued a very strong statement. The World Bank cut its work in Tunisia, and there were subsequent also voices from within Tunisia that wanted to disassociate themselves from what appears to be desperate kicks of a dying horse by a regime that is running out of options and is dividing people and is weaponizing racism against a defenseless minority racial group. And so those remarks by all those institutions are very welcome, and it behoves all of us to ensure that we work together to stop division, stop hate, and targeted attacks on racial minorities in a specific country. The last point I want to make is now it's very clear that the African leadership needs to ensure that they have an environment where young people or people of any group of any age do not have to leave their country and put their lives in harm's way because they're simply looking for jobs and opportunities. Obviously migration works in various ways. There are people coming from Europe to Africa to seek opportunities, and vice versa, from India, South America, all over the world. But there appears to be a trend where black Africans specifically are dehumanized, targeted, and sometimes enslaved, and sometimes they lose their lives. And so it is incumbent on the African leadership to ensure that at least they avail the tools such as infrastructure, such as an environment that allows expression, entrepreneurship, so that people have safeguard for their human dignity and they don't have to be exposed to such hate and targeting such as we see in Tunisia and we saw in other countries during the pandemic. So there we shall leave it today on this episode, and we will be watching developments very closely in Tunisia and putting it in a legal context as we always do on this Diary of a Lawyer again. So thank you, and we'll speak again later. Thank you very much. Bye.